Hi, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. I'm May, and this is going to be building my April TBR with me, and maybe building your April TBR, because this is a very special edition of my TBR building where April is actually my golden birthday, so I have a lot of segments going into this TBR. It is the next version of Mooing with Friends, but there is a double twist to Mooing with Friends. I also want to read books that are related to my golden birthdays, so like books that like end on like 427 pages or have 427 pages, or like if the author has the same initial as me or if they're yellow. And then like I have a very random goal of trying to read at least 4,279 pages, which is my birthday, like in some format, obviously. So it's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be very chaotic. And I think that I should go into Mooing with Friends first and kind of explaining the double twist there, because this has never been done quite in this capacity before, because it was an idea that I kind of wanted to do, but then I didn't do it last year because I had other plans for last year. Like last year I was rereading Shatter Me and I decided to read 27 books, which I will not be doing again. Um but this year for Mooing with Friends during my birthday month, I had a friend pick out some books for me. They picked out 5 books for me. That went very typical. The twist is it's not called Mooing with Friends this month. It's called Neighing with Friends, because the person who's picking my books out is a very huge fan of horses. If you don't know who it is, their name is Mariah. I met them in a Twitch community and they have become a dear friend of mine. And I really appreciate their insight into books. Like, we don't always have the same taste. And some of these books I never would have read without them. I haven't read them yet, obviously. But I think that they have picked out quite a selection for me. They only picked out 5 because they have been sending these 5 to like all of their friends, and I didn't want to add anything else to them. So, to make up for the fact that we have only 5 books from Mariah, I added my own twist to it for my golden birthday, and it is where I have picked out my 27 favorite books. And I am asking that if you are a friend of mine, a fan of mine, that sounds weird. If you're a friend of mine or like you like my content and you want to do something for my birthday, this is what you can do for me. You can read a book or as many books as you want off of this list of my 27 favorite books currently, because this list is forever changing. These are the books that I love, or they mean something to me, or they have just stayed with me for a really long time. And it would be a great honor of mine for you to read one of these books and hopefully enjoy it as much as I do. And it can be like your version of a birthday gift to me, because it's my golden birthday and not everyone will actually physically see me. So like you can be like, hey, it's May's birthday. I'm gonna go read XYZ from the list. There's no minimum or maximum. You can just read one. You could read all 27. You could read 2, 6, 18. Like, it's literally, I'm just saying, here is a list of my all-time favorite books. If you would like to read one of them, please do. Please feel free to. And please let me know your thoughts if you do. I am asking that it be done in the month of April because, you know, birthday month is in April. If you read it outside of April, then it's not really for my birthday anymore. And it's just like a little fun concept that I've kind of been doing with, because I have a lot of digital friends and so many of my friends are like, oh, what should I do for your birthday? And I finally have an answer. It's just read a book of mine that I love. That's the birthday gift to me. Read a book that I really love and see how you feel about it. So we're going to start with Mariah's picks, and then I will go over the 27 books that I have picked for you guys to potentially read. And then I'll go into building the rest of my TBR, because I'm not only reading 5 books. I've actually upped my reading goal for the month to be 16, because I think that if I want to reach 4,000 pages, some of the books that are on my list are pretty short. So I think I'm going to have to read more books to hit the goal, but we'll see. But I'm allowing up to 16. So let's start with what Mariah picked for me. I'm going to go to my spreadsheet and I will show you guys. I don't really want to look these up on Storygraph because I like to go into these books blind and I don't like to know anything about them. I like to be fully immersed into the experience of reading these with no pre-existing thoughts of them. So just to give you a heads up, as if like you're like, why is May not talking about these books? It's because I don't want to know anything about them. And you will of course get a full length review of each book in my end of the month video that will come out. But yeah, let's get into it. There's a lot to cover in this video, so welcome to my spreadsheet. These are the 5 books that Mariah has picked out for me. We have Foe by Ian Reid. We have A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking by T. King Fisher. We have Hollow Kingdom by Kira Jane Bunkston. We have Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis. And then we have The Edge of Sleep by Jake and Manuel. And apparently this is adapted from the podcast. And apparently Markiplier voices the podcast and is the actor in the show. So Mariah was saying that, like, I think she recommended me listening to the podcast as well as the book, which I think is super interesting and I definitely will be doing. And I didn't ever reach out for any more because I just was like, these 5 feel so different and so amazing all on their own. And I didn't want to like stress Mariah out. I can do the rest. I can put in the work for the rest of the book. So those are the 5 that she has picked out for me. I think there's 2 fantasy, a sci-fi, a romance, and then I actually don't know what The Edge of Sleep is at all. I don't know anything other than that Markiplier apparently voices it, which is super fun. With those 5 books, we're already at 1,580 pages. Just as a reminder, my goal is to read 4,279. Yeah, 4,279 is the goal. So we're like a quarter of the way there. And then I will go to the books that I'm going to have you guys read potentially if you desire, and I'll go over those. I'm not going to give descriptions because it would take a very long time to get all through 27 books. I will just say the title, maybe something about the book, and then we'll move along. Okay, so I know this looks like it's a black page, but it's just on Canva, and I'm on dark mode, so I promise you're not just looking at, like, dark edges. That's why I made my camera bigger. Anyways, so these are the 27 books that I have picked. I was too lazy to color coordinate them. No, I just literally stuck them in the order that I found them. So I'm sorry if it's not like aesthetically pleasing. But yeah, so we have at the very top, we have The Charm Offensive and Here We Go Again, which is by my favorite romance author of all time, which is Alison Cochrane. These books really helped me with my identity. They have, The Charm Offensive has asexual representation in it. It also has like OCD representation in it. And then Here We Go Again is lesbian with ADHD and autism representation. So they mean a lot to me. So I recommend these on the caveat that these books are very special to me. And when you read them, I'm hoping that you see aspects of myself in your reading. And I am very sensitive towards these books. I'm not trying to say not to read them, but I'm saying if you hate them, be very particular how you discuss them with me because they like help me with my identity. The Charm Offensive is what made me realize that I was asexual. Not made me, it made me like realize how I've been feeling. And then Here We Go Again just is one of the first books that I have read that has like ADHD representation and the way that I experience ADHD. If you tell me that you hate it with your whole fucking being with no explanation, I'm gonna essentially think that you mean that you hate me. So if you do read these books and you hate them, be kind about it, you know? That's the only caveat for those 2 because they're just so deeply special to me. And I hope someone does read them because I do feel like if you read them, you will better have an understanding of me and who I am as a person and what my connection with the LGBT community is. So that's the caveat. The rest of these you can hate on if you want. We have A Tempest of Tea, and then we also have We Hunt the Flame by the exact 2 authors. They're both fantasy. They're very different. Very different. A Tempest of Tea is like a vampire heist story, and We Hunt the Flames is like a desert adventure. It's very beautiful writing, like some of the most beautiful writing that I've ever read in my life. And Tempest of Tea feels a bit lacking in the beautiful writing and more of like a legit adventure with found family. So could not be different, which is why I decided to include both of them. We have Aces of Spades, which is a thriller book. It is an academic thriller book. I highly recommend it. It has a crazy ass twist. We have One Dark Window, which is hands down one of the best fantasy books that I've ever read, and I think that it's like underappreciated. I think it might be getting more appreciation nowadays, like more like this year and maybe last couple of months. I think I've seen more people talking about this book. I think you need to talk about more of it though. It is amazing. It is a book about a girl who gets her powers from cards, like literally cards, like playing cards. In a way, I can't say too much more, but like there is like a dark element to these books, which it's like a it's like a dark gothic fantasy. Love. How does it feel? I was very hesitant to put on this list because if you had watched one of my previous videos, I ended up giving the last book in the series 2 stars, even though I had loved every other book. And I was like, do I even want to put this on my list? I am, because it is still one of my favorite books of all time. Do I hate how this series ended up going? Yes. But do I still recommend it? Yes, because I think that the first couple of books are so good, and you could just skip the last one. Just don't even read the last one. But I think this is so, so good. This is just following a scientist who is looking for a particular kind of moth. And while she's looking for this particular kind of moth, she ends up falling through a portal that goes to the Feylands. Yeah, I'll leave it there. And then Ascent to the Villain is like one of the funniest books that I have read. It is, I believe it is a take on like Once Upon a Time into The Office humor. It's not for everyone. Some people think that humor is really stupid, but I personally love the humor. It's one of my favorite parts of the book. I just like the giddy and like laughing, and it's like, I don't want to say it's low stakes. It's like medium stakes, but like a lot of humor to it. So not everyone's cup of tea, but hopefully someone's cup of tea. And then we have Hexed, which is a Little Mermaid inspired, not inspired, like fractured retelling, where it's like, so this author does like darker retellings. I don't want to say retellings because I don't think they even use that word, because retellings make it seem like it's going to follow the story exactly, and these don't. This is like her own twist to the stories that we know and love, and she adds like darker elements to it, and there's smut in them. This is definitely my favorite of the series. It is also the last book in the series, and I highly recommend reading any of them. I know the first one is Hook, like Captain Hook. That one I didn't love nearly as much, but you can actually read them at whatever order you want because they are not tied into each other. They are standalones. So you could honestly just go look up what each one is like fractured based on, and then just pick the one that sounds the most interesting to you. I just put Hex because like it's my favorite. Like I gave it 5 stars. And then we have Mile High. I finished the series very recently, and Mile High is not even my favorite in the series, but I gave the entire series 5 stars. But you do have to start with Mile High because even though they are different characters, they are tied into each other, and the other characters get mentioned in the other books. So I think for this one, it would be best to start with Mile High. If you've already read Mile High, just go on to the next one. And then we have Yellowface, which is a book that I never would have read if it wouldn't have been for my friend Pizza Cat, because I kind of don't really want to read this author anymore because of the fan base. I think the fan base is literally dipshit fucking crazy. They treat people horribly. They don't allow criticisms of these books at all. Like if you say that you don't like the book, they're like at your house, like, yo. Like I've seen people dox people that have said they didn't like this book or like the Poppy War. It's insane. So I don't really love to talk about this book like in communities that I don't know. I added it to the list because I do think it's important to read. It's a very important narrative. I also just gave it 5 stars and really loved it, and it really kind of blew me away. I wasn't expecting to give it 5 stars, which I know is crazy because like I love the Poppy War, but I kind of told myself that I'd never read any other book by her. And I still don't plan to, unless someone puts another one of her books on Mooing with Friends. I don't think I'll ever go seek them out myself because of the fan base. It's hard to say it, but like fan bases can ruin things for me. Like if people are mean, it makes me not want to go into that community. Like whether that's books or movies or video games or just anything in life. If I don't think that the community of it is supportive and kind or doesn't allow people to have their own opinions, I don't even want to be there. So it's kind of ruined off Kwang for me, unfortunately. And then we have I Who Have Never Known Men, which is a recommendation from someone in Allie's community. Their name is Chelsea, and they had been talking about this book for quite some time, and I decided to read it. I don't think I realized how traumatizing this would be, and it has really stuck with it. It has really stuck with it with me, and then I actually saw one of my friends was going to read it on vacation, and I was like, don't read that on vacation, you will be sobbing. And then I ended up finishing it another time, and they also ended up really loving it. This is a story about women who are in cages, who have been locked up in these cages for a really long time. And when they finally do get out of the cages, they have to wonder if they're the only ones left alive and where they even are. And it is sad. It's sad. You just have to know it's sad for multiple different reasons. It explores like womanhood and also like humanity and the state of the world and like hopelessness, but also hope at the end of time. I don't know. It's just like it was so powerful, and I think this is one of the books that's going to stay with me through the rest of my life. I don't think I'll ever reread it, but I definitely will always talk about it. And then we have First Time Caller, which is by B.K. Boriston. I would have loved to put all of B.K. Boriston books on this, but so many of them are related to holidays, and I didn't want to put any holiday books because then I didn't want people reading like Halloween in April or Christmas in April. So I chose First Time Caller, which is a little bit Valentine's Day-esque. A little bit, but it felt like the most normal one. This is following a radio host, Aiden, who runs a radio show about love, and he doesn't actually even fully believe in love himself. And then one day he gets a caller from a child who is talking about their mom, and their mom wants to fall in love, and then they end up helping their mom fall in love. But guess who they fall in love with? Aiden. So then it's fun, romantic, it's so good. And then we have Hide, which is another Piece of Cat recommendation. Can't believe Piece of Cat got 2 recommendations on this list. I'm just joking. This is about an amusement park where they have to survive for so many days and by hiding during the day, and then someone is seeking them, and if they're found, they get kicked out of the amusement park. But there is a dark and deadly twist. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Then we have Daughter of a Moon Goddess, which is one of my favorite fantasies. Okay, so I say this, but I actually don't remember the plot very well because it's been so very long since I read it. I'm almost positive that it's Chinese fantasy based. Yeah, I'm so sorry that I can't say more. Like, I love it. I love the characters, but like, I can't remember any particular things about the plot anymore because I read it, I want to say 4 years ago. It's been a really, really long time, and obviously I have all these other books soaked into my brain right now. So really love it. It is beautiful and tragic in its own ways, and the imagery, the cover, the characters are all very beautiful. Next, going to Belladonna, which is another dark gothic fantasy where a girl is very closely tied to death. She is the only surviving member of her family, and people want to know why everyone she comes in contact with ends up dying and she ends up living, and she essentially has some power that she doesn't even fully grasp or really know about. So the series is following her and her tie to death. Love. We have A Fragile Enchantment, which I actually just recently read, which is a recommendation from Paris. This is a fantasy that is inspired by Bridgerton, and I love, love, love it. It has like the political sideness of Lady Whistledown while also still having the courting, the hotness, and then you add magic to it. Love. We have Fruits Basket Volume 1, which is the only manga that I have on this list because I actually don't think that manga works for me all the time, especially if I've already watched the show, the anime. But this one, even though I've already watched the anime, I still love reading this manga. I probably will be continuing it this month. You'll probably see me add the other books to my list, honestly. Honestly, I probably will. I read the first 5 last year, and I think I'm going to read maybe the rest of the series this year. I didn't pick this out. Sorry. Fruits Basket is following... I said I wasn't going to give any descriptions, but I kind of am because I feel like you should know what you're getting yourself into. I'm not just going to dive into a lot, though. I'm trying to give like very short descriptions. So a Fruits Basket is following a girl who ends up discovering that the zodiac signs are people and that they can turn into their zodiac signs. And by zodiac signs, I mean the Chinese zodiac signs like cat, dog, rat, cow, snake, those kinds of things. And there is like a curse on these people, and there's been a curse on their family to be these zodiac signs. So good. It's very emotional, I will tell you this. It seems very cute on the surface. It is very emotional, so know that going into it. So Dawn of Onyx is just Shadow Daddy smutty fantasy that I read last year and really, really loved. Homebody is the only nonfiction on this list, and one of the few nonfictions that I've ever enjoyed. This is a nonfiction about being trans/non-binary and treating your body like home and how to help people understand your home, aka your body and your identity. Very beautiful. It is a graphic novel, and the imagery in it is stunning. We have Legendborn, which is a Paris recommendation, and this is following a Black woman going to a school with a secret society type deal and a lot of racism. It's amazing. I haven't finished the series, but I definitely will be soon. And then Icebound is a hockey romance. That's all I can really say about that one. A House at the Bottom of a Lake is a book that I read for Tiny Terror, and it is so good. I feel like the title really tells you what it's about. It is literally a house at the bottom of a lake, and two kids go to explore it, and it's creepy. Love it. Faith Breaker is a fantasy about the gods dying. There is a girl who is literally going, oh, you know what? Actually, I just realized that I put the second book on the series. I'm too lazy to fix the graphic. It's supposed to be God Killer. That should be God Killer. I haven't been meaning, like, I've tried really hard not to put second books, third books on this list, and I just realized that I did, and I'm actually just too lazy. So, God Killer. Go read God Killer. This is about someone who's literally going to kill gods and their story with other characters and stuff. It's really amazing. You get to learn a lot about little gods and bigger gods, and it has disability representation in it, and it also has some gay representation in it. Love it. Don't start with Faith Breaker though. Start with God Killer if you haven't read it. Then we have People We Meet on Vacation, which I cannot believe I'm saying is one of my favorite books of all time, but it is because I don't like Emily Henry, but this book was so incredibly special to me. This is following two people who go on vacation over and over again, and then one day they have a falling out, and then a couple years later they have to try to go on vacation together and confront their feelings for each other. Mwah! Love it. Dungeon Crawler Carl, I won't give too much information on because I feel like it's so talked about. I have to put it on this list though because the audiobook of it is my favorite audiobook of all time. You can Google it. If you don't know what this is, just Google it or just go read the book. It's so amazing. And then the last book on this list is a book from my childhood, which continues to be one of my favorite books of all time, which is the Maximum Ride series. If you have not read this, you need to, but you need to do it through the lens of like a 12-year-old. Okay? Because it is literally following younger kids / teenagers who are essentially science experiments who can fly, and they're sassy and they're chaotic, and Fang was literally the blueprint for grumpy men. Okay, he truly was. And this is the list. I hope that you are maybe inspired to read one of these. If you're not, that's okay. I just did this for fun. I really don't know if anyone will read any of these. I really don't, but that's okay if you don't. It was just for fun. It's not a requirement. It's not like a test of like your trueness to this community. It was just a little idea that I had where I was like, you know what? What if I put a list out of my birthday books for people to read? Like my favorite books for my birthday. So this is what I did. You read one, you read 10, you read none. I still appreciate you being in this community, and whatever you choose to do is fine with me. So this is the 27 books that I love, adore, mean so much to me. And now I'm going to get to building the rest of my TBR. So switching back to what we're actually here for, which is building my TBR. Like I was saying, we already have 5 books, so that means we get to pick out 11 more books. I do kind of already have an idea of what I want to read. I want to read some shorter books to be able to add 11 more books. So what we're going to do is we are going to go to Fried Bread because I know for a fact that I have shorter books. If you don't know, I'm participating in a readathon called Project Fried Bread, which is where each level is a dungeon with its own theme that you have to read to then get out of the dungeon to go to the next one. I have been slowly completing it. I've done a lot of it already in March, but I still have a lot to go. So we're going to go to those graphics and see what books we can pick off of it. This is the graphic. There's 10 in total. This is the first one. I've already read one. Lessons in Chemistry is the other pick that Mariah did, so I don't have to worry about this one. Where Sleeping Girls Lie, I'm reading in March, so I don't have to worry about that one. And then these books I'm reading in March, except for Born of Flames and Sacrifice, and it's actually been delayed until December, so I won't be reading it in March, nor will I be able to read it in April. So we continue. These are, the books that are left are very Halloween / Christmas, so we're skipping those. I've completed the rainbow section, so we're gonna move in to level 6 and up. I want to read some of these. I don't know how many of these are short. I don't know how many of these are short. Let me scroll down a little so you can actually see. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 off of this list to read. Do we think that I could read all 10? No. But let's go to Storygraph, and they should be already on my TBR. Let's see if any of these are short and see what we can knock out. This is my TBR. We're going to go filter, and we're going to filter by less than 300 pages. I'd actually like to be even shorter, but we'll see how what this brings up. So there is 25 books in total that are less than 300 pages. Wizard of Most Wicked Ways. I'm about to be reading in March. Um, I could read any of. Ooh. Tea Dragon Society? Absolutely. We're gonna add the Tea Dragon Festival and the Tea Dragon Tapestry both to the list because I've already started the first one. This will finish out the series for me, and it'll be Project Fried Bread. And I think we're also on my 26 and 2026, or at least maybe the first one is. So we're gonna add the Tea Dragon Tapestry and the Tea Dragon Festival to my TBR. First off, I saw them immediately. These ones right here are Discworld books, and I don't know if I want to read a Discworld book, and if I do, how many I want to read. So we're gonna circle back to Discworld. Let's go ahead and put those two in the list so I don't forget. The Tea Dragon Festival. Oh my god, I can't spell. This is embarrassing. And then the Tea Dragon. Oh my god, this is embarrassing. Tapestry. And then we're gonna put Project Fried Bread. Fried, yeah. And then these are gonna be Neighing. And then I like to add reasons, like I've discussed before, just so I can know why I'm reading what book. This is gonna be Neighing with Friends. We're gonna copy and paste this for all of these because that's what they are. Neighing with Friends because Mariah loves horses, as she should. So that brings us up to 7. We're gonna go past Discworld. This is Nightmare Acres is a Halloween book. Cry for Christmas is a Christmas book. Ooh, I forgot about the Easter book. We can add Pray for Rabbit because it's an Easter book to the list. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I should check my new releases. I should start with my new releases actually, because this just reminded me this book's coming out in April. Pray for Rabbit, and it is Easter book. And then we're gonna check my new releases because I almost forgot. So we have 3 books in April. Okay. There's also another one because I believe, I don't remember what it's called. I think I'm going to put it on the list as Smuts because I think it's coming out on my actual birthday. So Release Me, Meeting with Minotaurs, and then Rights of Starling, Smut book coming on birthday is what I'm gonna call it for now because I really don't know what it's called. Okay, so that brings us to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we can pick up 4 more unless I add these up and they don't have to do that. I'm not at my total. Do I have any books that are golden though? I think it's a Discworld book. I think the Discworld books have gold in them. Okay. That's yellow. That's not gold enough in my opinion. So let's see. Let's search through my 100-some books for any books with gold. I'm not reading 500 goddamn pages. That's insane. Black Sun. That has gold in it. These are already on my list. I think it's gonna be a Discworld book. Oh, never mind. Book 2 does not have any gold in it whatsoever. It's a blue. I might still add it though because it's short, so it might be worth it. Okay. I'm already reading this. I would need that's yellow. I can't read this one yet. It's not out. Oh, I could read this though. Not out yet. Not out yet. I would consider that gold. That's not out yet, or I would consider it. Halloween. That's definitely gold. That I would consider like brownish more than gold. I would say she has like golden blonde hair that has gold in it. Okay. So we have some options. You know what? Let's just add Discworld Book 2 on the list. I mean, technically it does have gold because of the treasure chest, and what is probably going to be in the treasure chest? Gold. Okay. I paused for a second to count up what we have so far. So far with the books that I have added, we are at 3,491, which means we have 788 pages until I hit my goal. It's okay to go over the goal. I want to at least hit the goal though. So that gives us some options. I've decided what I want to do. I want to do Fruits Baskets Volumes 1. I want to do Fruits Baskets Volumes 6 through 12. I own them, and it would count for 6 physical books, which would be great. Um, it would put me way over 4,000, which isn't a bad thing. Also, the manga don't read nearly the same way as regular books. Like they're 384 pages, but not really. So, what I'm thinking is, what if instead of considering them for the 4,297 pages, I just have them listed and we only count the first one, the first page number. I know that doesn't make any sense, but I just like, I don't like, I added it up. They'd be like 2,000 pages on their own, but like they're not gonna be actually 2,000 pages on their own. I don't know how to explain the logic here. So that's why I'm thinking, like, what if instead of counting them for 2,000 pages, I just count the page of what the first book is, the first book that I have to read is. So whatever the page count of book 6 is, that would go towards the 788 pages left, and then maybe I pick one like bigger book left, and maybe we do 15 books instead of 16. Or maybe I do 384. I think they're 384 pages, so 788 minus 384. 788. Oh god. 788 minus 384 gives us about 400 pages left. We can go over that, but okay, I like that idea. So we're gonna put Fruits Baskets volume 6 through 12, but I'm only gonna count it towards the pages of the first one. And then we're gonna pick out maybe a longer book. Volume 6 has gold in it, and then the other ones I'd get to finish. They don't have gold in them. The other ones don't, but they would still, fit what I'm trying to do here. So that's what I'm gonna do. I think I know what I want to do for the last book. Let's go back to Project Fried Bread. Maybe we select one more book after that, because we would have Neighing with friends to meet all the Mariah books. I would like to do 3 books from Project Fried Bread. Then we have all my new releases, and then we have a book that's gold, and then we would still be hitting my page goal of my birthday, which is 4,279. I think I want to pick off one more book from Project Fried Bread to do 3. Um, let's go see. Let's see what I have, what prompts I could do for Project Fried Bread. So this is the board that I'm on. I'm currently on board 6. So the 2 other books that I've already picked are from this board as well. So I think it would make sense to pick another book from this board. Oh wait, I just realized I already did. Fruits Basket Volume 6 is on here. Well, I'm still gonna pick another one. Let's do 4 then. Let's do a nice even number of 4. Off of this list, I think I want to do Savage Bonds because I just finally read Broken Bonds, and it was so good, and it doesn't have any smut in it because it was like leading up to that, and I think the smut's going to start in book 2, and I'm like super eager to read it. So I think I want to read Savage Bonds. I think it's around 500. I think it's 480 pages, so a little over the goal, but I want to do it. I think that's going to be my pick. I was thinking about removing For All Time from my TBR just because um I don't super want to read it anymore because it's contemporary romance, and it's just the prompt is a person of color protagonist, and I'm sure I have a ton. So maybe we switch that out for another POC protagonist. Because like I kind of want to. I've been feeling this way for quite some time. I kind of want to reset my physical library, like the books that I still have left to read. I've been buying some newer ones that kind of excite me, but there is some books that I got from the BAM bargain section that just like I no longer have any kind of motivation to read them. And a few of them are in my March TBR, and I've literally worked around them. Like I just have no initiative to read them. And since those ones are already on my March TBR, I'll read those ones, but I think I might literally unhaul the others. I would have to unhaul 5. I'm kind of okay with that though. Honestly, I didn't pay very much money for them, and more than likely, I'm not gonna like them. And if I force myself to read them, I'm not gonna like them even more. I think it'd be a good move for me to just unhaul them and then replace the prompts because I think all 5 are on Project Fried Bread. So we have For All Time, which is one. We have Little Universes, which is one. I guess that's it. I'm just gonna do it then. I thought I had more of them on Project Fried Bread. No, I guess I already started reading the other ones. Okay. I've already started reading the other ones. Okay, that makes sense then. Yeah. So let's go back to the spreadsheet so we can go over everything. So let's add that last book, which is Savage Bonds. And then let's get the notes put down. So this is a new release. New release, new release, new release, new release. And then we will do Golden Book. And then this is also Golden Book. And then this is just gonna be a Project Fried Bread level 6. There we go. This is a good TBR. This is I'm hitting multiple goals, getting multiple things put in, finishing a lot of things. This will be nice and easy to get through because even though it's 4,297 pages, if you think about it, April has 30 days, 31 days. I may not even know how many days are in my own birthday month. It's 30 days. That would be 4,297 divided by 30 is only about 140 pages a day. And those graphic novels will be so quick. So quick. So some of these are only 100 pages themselves. So essentially, I would be reading like a book a day. I love that. I'm totally fine with that. We have officially built out my April TBR, and maybe you have some books for your own April TBR if you want to read some of the books that I love. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this. A lot of people have told me they like this method, which makes me happy. I'm glad that this method has been inspiring people or helping people build out their own TBRs. I actually think I also prefer this method. It kind of makes me reach for some books that I haven't reached for in a while, and we're getting a lot of progress done with things. Like sometimes I fall behind on like my 26 and 2026. Sometimes I'll fall behind on Project Fried Bread, and this is kind of keeping me up to date on those things. So this method will definitely continue. I think I'm going to do this every month going forward. Not in such a huge capacity, obviously. But building it out with you guys, I think I'll be keeping. And I will see you guys in the next one. And you will be getting a full-length review for each book that I read at the end of the month of April. So thank you so much for watching. And I can't wait for my golden birthday. And I can't wait to see what we read and what we like and what we don't like. Thanks for hanging. Bye-bye.